Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. For those of you who came today, thank you so much for coming. Yes, I'm Larry Sharpe, out here again, running around New York State. This is stop number 40, I think it's 42 of 62, if I'm not mistaken, across this entire state. Welcome, sir, thank you for coming. I am here in Newark, not New Jersey, New York. I am in Newark, New York, which is in Wayne County. And you might be wondering, why am I wearing a mask? Why do I want to be wearing a mask? I am actually more than 6 feet away from the people who are in front of us. However, in New York State, if I'm indoors and I don't wear a mask in a place like this, there is absolutely a chance that His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II, all hail the king, that he will actually come in here with his people and shut this place down. I want to respect this place, their business, so I'll be wearing a mask today for my chat, so some of you don't get triggered. It's important. I care about local businesses here in New York State. Why am I doing this? Well, there's one important reason. So there's many reasons, but there's one important thing that just recently happened. My governor, again, my overlord, His Majesty King Andrew II, all hail the king, he has deemed that if local municipalities in New York State aren't doing enough to support his mandates, that he will charge each municipality $10,000 per day for not following his orders. He said it again. He will charge municipalities $10,000 per day for not following his orders. Yet he will shut them down and not let them work and make money, but he will still charge $10,000 a day. This is a money grab. That's all this is. It's another way of paying for our broken state. The government makes a problem, creates the problem, and then punishes you for their problem, and then asks you to say, thank you, sir, may I have another? Sadly, we see this happening again and again and again. I was recently at an event where a woman got mad at me and said, Cuomo's doing a great job. Cuomo's doing a great job. That's what she said. She yelled at me. She was upset. Doing a great job. Yet he is now going to fine her municipality $10,000 a day. Who's going to pay for that? She is. New Yorkers are. There's never an answer. Didn't you tell me we were talking earlier about some local county was going to raise land the property tax?
Property tax is going up 89%.
Property tax, I just heard
Somewhere
from
near Rochester, I forget.
So somewhere out in Monroe County, I just heard, I'm hoping it's true. This guy could be a liar, but I don't think he is. So I'm hoping that's true. And he just raised property tax over 80%. In New York State, supposedly, there is a 2% property tax cap. You may not raise property tax over 2%. However, there's a clause, an emergency clause, which they always keep using. Recently in my state, New York State, our assembly has given my governor emergency powers, broad emergency powers, which says he can say anything's an emergency. Financial, he can make the COVID response. He can make that an emergency. He can make rioting emergency. He can make anything he wants an emergency. If he makes an emergency, he then is allowed, our assembly has allowed him to do so, he can actually void any state law and any local law. He basically can make the law himself. He is doing that now. So with that, he can take our property taxes and double them if he wants to. I want to ask you, why in the world would someone do this? It's actually a simple reason. He doesn't know any better, and he actually doesn't care. If you watch my campaign and watch me cross this state for literally years now, every time there's a problem, I come up with a solution. Here's an actual policy, which will make something better. You may disagree with my solution. You may think it's not right, or you want to tweak it. And my policies have been tweaked many times, and I'm happy to do that. But my policies never include, ever, raising taxes or mandating your action. You never said that. You said it's Batavia?
Batavia.
Sorry, it's Batavia. Yes, thank you for doing your homework, my friend. Thank you. Yes, in Batavia. That's it. That's Genesee County. Right, not Monroe County. Sorry, Genesee County. So yes. In any case, how do I know that, right? I travel to say so much I know what county it's in. Sad. So half New Yorkers didn't know what county Batavia is in. So yeah, exactly. Cuomo doesn't know. In any case, my point here being, he doesn't know any better. Everything I've talked about never mandates people do anything and never raises taxes. I always change the environment and incentivize the people to do the right thing. Because here's what I know. Most people will do the right thing. Some won't, but most will. And if I make a law, guess what? Those same people who do the right thing will probably do the right thing. And the bad people will probably do the bad thing anyway. But there's a bunch of people in the middle who, when they get ordered to do something, will rebel and not do it because they were ordered. But when they're not ordered, they'll actually do it. We were talking in the shop earlier today about people wearing masks. But many don't know this. Before there was an order and a mandate, there were lots of people wearing masks already on their own. Some people were afraid, they were worried, particularly if they were older and had pre-existing conditions. Many of them were wearing masks on their own. Many businesses created environments on their own, 6-foot distancing. They actually had, they were washing their hands, all kinds of things before the mandate. And more people were doing it because they were doing it because they cared, because their neighbor wanted them to, because someone would ask them to, and they were doing it. Business was starting to sell the cool mask with stuff on it, right? They were doing it. It was already happening. Then the mandate came. And you saw it, I saw it, you all saw it. The mask came off. People started saying, this is garbage, I'm not doing it. Because now they were mandated. Now it wasn't because I'm asking to do it because I care or I'm concerned. Now it becomes, I'm ordering you, and you fight back. Now it becomes political. Now it becomes political. A good leader, a great leader, doesn't say, I know better, shut up and do as I say. That's not a great leader. A great leader doesn't say, don't do anything. Go in your house, watch Netflix, I got this. That's not a great leader. A great leader says, guys, I can't do this alone. I need you. Help me. Teach me. Show me. Join me. Let's move forward and fix this. That's what a great leader does. I haven't seen that in New York State. Have any of you? No one's saying yes. No, I haven't seen it here in New York State. I've seen, I'm a dictator, do as I say. Now bring up the example that I brought up in the past. Gentleman here from Yates County, thank you so much for actually giving me this stat. That I know from the past that it may not be true now, but it was true at least about a month ago. Only 6 deaths in Yates County in New York State. Only 6 from COVID. And all of them came from one nursing home. Why in the world would we want the same rules and regulations in Yates County as we would in Manhattan? This makes no sense. We scream every day in this country about diversity, diversity, diversity. So important. Diversity is so important. Oh, diversity, so critical. I agree, it's critical. So why in the world will we then decide, you know what? One idea fits all. One size fits all from one city. Why? You care about diversity, right? I do too. Then let each county be itself. Let each county deal with its own issues in its own way. Let's let Queens be Queens, and Wayne be Wayne, and Brooklyn be Brooklyn, and Essex be Essex. Let's let each county be its own. We care about diversity. Let's care about diversity. I'm in. Let's let people be who they want to be. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm crossing the state. And what I'm telling you here is why so many people are afraid. It's because if Democrats win, they're going to enforce their will upon us. If Republicans win, they're going to enforce their will upon us. That is the fear that each side has. And it's a valid fear because they've seen it happen in the past. But if instead we realize, if libertarians win, we don't enforce our will upon anybody. We allow you to be you. I don't want any county in my state to copy another county unless they want to. Unless they want to. I talked about this months ago. If we'd actually used the government for the right thing, which would have been to be a central repository for information. Here is what the government believes is the right answer for your retail store to be open. But not just that. Here is what a holistic group says you should do. And you know what else? Here is what a doctor's association says you should do. And now you, as an individual retailer, decide, you know what? I'm going to copy all 3. I'm going to copy 1 or 2. I'm going to copy just one of them, whichever. I'm going to copy none of them. Okay. Now each of those groups can send out their inspectors. And if you follow their rules, they give you a stamp. That's it. They give you a stamp. No stamps, you didn't follow any of them. Do I shut you down? No. I let the consumers decide. A consumer goes up and goes, you know what? No stamps. I don't trust them. They don't go in. I don't have to shut a store down. You will. Because you won't go. Because you don't trust them. Or you trust them. You'll also pick what stamp you trust. You might want 2 stamps. You might want all 3. Okay. You'll go to stores that have the stamps that you want on your store. Well, Larry, what if the stores put the wrong stamp on? That's fraud. That's a crime. That's fraud. That's a crime. Prosecute that store, not for not following the guidelines. Prosecute that store and that store owner for lying to your customers. That's unacceptable. You don't get to lie to your customers. You follow the guidelines or you don't. What would have happened? By now, if we've done this in February, by now we know exactly what guidelines work. We'd have data from all over the state. There'd be no, well, is this wrong? Is this right? Is these guys, is this, does the mask work when it's up here or down? We would know. There'd be no doubt. Because the businesses that were getting people sick would be gone. And the ones who weren't would be around. We'd be following the right rules. Without one single mandate. Without one order. Without any punishment. Without any fines. Nothing. I mean, keep people in their homes. Keep people in their businesses. Keep communities moving without having to punish. This is the libertarian way. If we don't get this, it will never change. The gap that's between left and right will keep growing. No one's going to heal our country unless we look to that actual middle ground, which is the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party will actually cross the aisle, talk to Democrats and Republicans, and try to find an actual answer. But more importantly, it'll make better Democrats and better Republicans. Imagine if Republicans were actually about smaller government and less taxes. Imagine if Democrats were actually about civil liberties. They're both supposed to be about those things. I don't see that, particularly in my state. I don't see that in my state. I see the reverse. How can they become that? If there is a strong Libertarian Party in this state, in your state, if you're watching outside of New York State, that's what matters. I'm asking you today to consider something. If there is a Libertarian on your ballot, look for Libertarian. Vote gold. Vote for that Libertarian for the most important reason. Whether they can win or not doesn't matter. I hope they all win. I hope all Libertarians win. That'd be amazing. But even if they can't, if you make our party stronger now, it's ready for post-November. It's ready for the future. It's ready for when those tens of millions of unhappy Americans, whether Trump wins or loses, there's going to be tens of millions of unhappy Americans, ready for them to come to our party and talk to us and not check out. For those of you who know New York State, the North Country, a lot of those people in North Country are just there a week ago. A lot of them have checked out. Sometimes you have enough people in North Country, only 1 in 6 vote. Think about that. 1 in 6 vote. The rest have said, why bother? That is common throughout my state, but worse in that area. Don't check out. Don't walk away. Come to us. We're here. We will let you be as liberal or as conservative as you want to be. Just don't force your view on others. I don't want to change anybody. I don't want to make you like me. I don't want you to make me like you. I want you to let me be me. I let you be you, and we're all happy. That's what I want to do. We can do that. Vote gold this year. Vote at the presidential ticket. Vote for Joe Jorgensen. And locally, look in your ticket. And if you find a Libertarian on your ticket, vote for that Libertarian. If they can win, awesome. If they can't, still super valuable. Now is the year to vote gold. Tell your friends, tell your family members, and you. Vote gold this year. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for coming. So much I appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.